All right, Holeheads, welcome to Jeffersonville, Ohio. It is the American Cornhole Organization Pro Invitational, single elimination, $7,500 guaranteed purse. And in just a little while, we're going to turn things around to center court. But let's get the day started with a few introductions. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. My broadcast partner, the Mississippi Ninja, Philip Arnett, and in between us and the handsome sandwich, we got Rich Pyle, the man who's going to be out taking care of, honest to God, you've already shot more video, I think, than he and I have been responsible for all season long, about getting the kind of the feel and the vibe of the entire event, which is really turning out to be a great day.
There's a lot to film. There's a lot going on here. I don't know that with the cameras that we have set up over here, you can't see any of it, but we have DJs set up. We have merch booths. We have that really cool hot rod car that's actually a beer tap. We got food trucks. We've got boards set up. People are playing some side games over here. We've got ice cream stands. I mean, and that's just what I can see right here.
Yeah, just on your head on that swivel. So Philip, we know why we're here. Let's talk a little bit about why they're here.
$3,000 to the winner. And we have the top 8 pros anywhere in the world. I'm going to call it anywhere in the world pitching right here. And we're going to start off with the King of Cornhole in our first match. That's how good it's going to be out here today, Finn.
And he absolutely drew the shortest straw because he's got to face off against the machine.
The number 1 seed.
Kaleb Hurt. So everything on this check is filled out except one thing, and it's going to be whose name are we going to put on this line when the day is done. So let's turn things around onto center court. And what do you think, Rich? What are you spying out of your little eye?
I'm spying that you spell my name P-Y-L-E.
Oh, is that what you want on
bottom
there?
Of that check? That's what I'm spying.
Yeah, this is dry erase, brother. You can write it on there as many times as you want. When it comes time to put it in Sharpie, it's going to be one of these 8 top pros. And again, Kaleb Hurt right now is, I believe, tied for player of the season in season 17 with Austin Cameron, who unfortunately wasn't able to make it to the tournament. So the King wrapped up the 8 slot as the number 9 player coming in. So we've got some great matches. This single elimination, we're going to start with Kaleb and Gary. Kaleb Hurt, Gary Ferguson. And we've got Gary Bearpaw, the number 2 seed, against Craig Irvin, who is none too happy about that, I might add. And but that's what makes it fun. One and done. Best 2 out of 3, but then when you lose, you are done. So I do believe it's time to turn things over to the Cornhole dude, and he's going to go ahead and give them their final instructions. All right.
Bring it, baby. Here we go.
Let's call it brung right now. How about that? All right. So out of the blue lane in the higher seed with the blue jersey on, Kaleb Hurt, one of the SVC's favorite sons, the older brother of one of their other favorite sons, Isaac Hurt, playing with Tammy and Junior out of the SVC, Shenandoah Valley Cornhole.
And these guys start off showing you how they're in the top 8 right there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And outdoors with the elements, you got a little bit of a wind factor. You've got a little bit of different tack to the board. But these guys have been practicing all morning long. And we'll expect to see some great play throughout the course of the day. And Gary
takes advantage of the first mistake of the match.
Yes, he did.
Picks up 4.
That's going to post a 4 spot right there, right out of the chute. And again, these are all best 2 of 3, but single elimination. When you are done, you are done, and you become a spectator. Now, everybody gets a payout, but you certainly want to be on this big check.
You want the big one for sure. And rumor has it that Gary Ferguson sent Austin Cameron a nice thank you basket.
Did he? Yeah. Yeah. Full of poison ivy.
There you go. Something. No, he's been posting all week. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Austin. He slipped in at the number 9 spot.
Yeah, well, they didn't make it easy on him coming in here having to go against Kaleb, the number 1, right off the bat.
And just think that if Austin would have came, they would have put Gary Bearpaw, probably one of the best players out here, in the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm. But again, we also are looking at DJ Long and Matt Gammon, both playing out of the Midwest, Kentucky, Tennessee and Kentucky, respectively.
And another mistake.
There's another one, so that's going to
cost him 2.
That's going to cost him another deuce. So Fergie, our reigning King of Cornhole from season 16, jumps out to a 6-0 lead against the 1 seed.
Yeah, 6-0. That's you don't see Kaleb Hurt making that many mistakes
right off the bat. The nerves, I think, have gotten to him because during the warm-ups, he was killing it. He wasn't missing anything.
Very possible could be nerves.
Which is weird But this is a different scenario. This is a different setup than these guys are used to in the tournaments that they play for the ACO. It's always indoor. The weather is controlled. Out here, it's not. It's windy. It's humid.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about their bags feeling wet. I got a chance to interview all the guys before they came out here and actually started the tournament, and a lot of them were complaining, or at least letting me know that it felt like their bags were wet already.
A little heavier, a little more heft to them, and maybe a little stickier there. All right.
There's what we expect out of the machine, Kaleb Hurt, right there.
Fergie leaves one up top, and that cracks the goose egg for Kaleb for the first time in this match. So 6-2, and again, best 2 out of 3 is how we're gonna play it here on center court. And again, the destination outlets here kind enough to bring us out to be part of what's going to be a big weekend out here for them overall in Jeffersonville, Ohio, just on the outskirts of Washington Courthouse. But thrilled to be out here with them, and our hosts have been fantastic through the course of the setup of the event, and of course here today, the setup of the actual day. There's a nice lounge they've put together from our friends at Pottery Barn for the players to chill out and hang out.
Yeah, look at that.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and it is a nice, as Rich mentioned earlier, a very nice setup out here.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, and that wind caught Fergie's bag right there.
It knocked it down quite a bit, and then, oh boy, that was a really nice bag to get that little get around to the left side. But yeah, it did. His bag got up there high.
Oh,
and
that was another wind-affected bag right there.
The first bag that Kaleb threw, a big gust of wind came through there and pushed it off to the right side of the hole.
And that's what's happening out here. The wind is blowing, but it is getting some gust out here. And
just a little bit. These court flags you see are kind of showing us which way, because they go as the wind blows. So we're definitely looking at a left to right on your screen an advantage, and you do have to change the strength with which you pitch coming back into it just a little bit.
Nice block bag right there by Kaleb.
And I think the blocker bags are gonna pay great dividends today, because it's going to be hard to push them with the humidity and the stickiness of the boards.
Yeah,
and Fergie, when he goes for that airmail, he tends to go up high, and this is probably the direction he wants to be able to do that, because you called that out there, Phil. It got up there and it got hung up.
It did.
Going the other direction.
Oh, and gave Gary an opportunity, even with one off, to pick
nice
up a point, and it hangs up.
Yeah, if it wasn't tacky, that bag would have fallen.
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Absolutely. So,
the king in the house.
Still holding a slight edge over the number 1 seed out of the blue lane with the blue jersey. Each of them has a blue jersey and a red jersey, depending upon where they're going to be seated in the matches as they go.
Which is interesting, because as these games go on, you may have to change your jersey from a blue jersey to a red jersey, or other way around.
From a high seed to a lower seed. Now, Gary will never have to worry about the blue jersey coming in at 8.
Right, and Kaleb won't have to worry about the
red jersey.
The red jersey. So
those two will be the only ones, though. Oh, what a shot right there!
Nice shot. How about that?
That was a nice low airmail.
You're going to have to throw them low today.
Well, there's a nice strength.
Oh, very nice.
Wow, really, really well done. And Caleb's bag lends itself to wind, because he's got that low kind of, I call it the spaceship bag.
Yeah.
Comes in low, hard, with a great rotation. And he put it to his advantage here going into the wind.
That's what some of the guys were talking about when I was talking to them earlier. They were saying that the people who have the low, hard, flat bag throw have the advantage out here in the wind, because they can cut through it. And the guys who throw the lighter, softer bags are going to probably be affected by the wind more.
And your point is, Gary Ferguson just threw one that was right down the center, and the wind had pushed both of those bags to his right.
Boy, nicely done there.
And now they're out of play.
This is a perfect example of those two different styles of throws.
Mm-hmm.
Gary throws a light, softer bag, and Kaleb throws the low, hard bag.
Yeah.
Well, and that one he was able to get it to float just enough, and it had enough left in it to get to the hole. And yeah, you're right. Fergie leaves 2 off to the right-hand side, so that's going to open the door for Kaleb to add to that 5 spot. So he is going to now take back that first bag.
Fergie got a shot of his spinach over there.
Did he? Oh, yeah, he did.
Courage juice.
Yeah.
So. If I'm not mistaken, in his SpongeBob drink holder. So there's one.
That's the wind affected right there.
Yeah, and I don't know. In past tournaments, Philip, we've referred to those from Kaleb as unicorns
That's
or
right.
mermaids,
You
things you don't see
often.
very often. But today with the wind and the outdoor conditions, now I did talk to them about that, and you know, Kaleb and Isaac play a lot outdoors, so the outdoor part of it really isn't affecting them. I'm guessing Gary out of Tennessee, he's played his share of outdoor, but you're right, in a tournament setting, Rich, they're used to the air-conditioned splendor of
and you get spoiled by
rooms.
it.
Yeah, you
do get spoiled by it.
Yes, you do.
I personally do not like playing out there.
Gosh,
There's 2 in one round.
Boy.
I'll tell you,
Good bag.
the people from the southern part of the country definitely have an advantage over the people from the northern part who don't have the chance to play year-round outside. And you know how hard it is in the off-season to find a facility that you can go and practice or play or get some tournaments in. Up in Michigan, we don't have that luxury of being able to go outside anytime that we want to, any time of the year, and start throwing some bags. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
There you go. All right, well done.
Yeah, Gary took the lead right there on that round where Kaleb had 2 bags off. A double unicorn is what we're going to call that today. All right?
A little seesaw battle, which is, once the nerves get all shaken out, if you will, not unexpected in the least.
And Kaleb is he's breathing a little hard after some throws and talking to himself. I think that then his nerves have gotten to him a little bit here today.
Yeah, something you don't see, and that could be one of the reasons this kid is going to win multiple King of Cornhole.
Oh, no question.
If he has. Now, he hasn't done it so far, and that could be something that he can't control his nerves a little bit in the big matches. Let's see. And that's no slight to him. It could happen to anybody anywhere. As me and Finn have seen on center court, nerves come into play.
Right. And center court, whether it's out here in the parking lot or inside under the hot lights of the spotlights, it doesn't matter. Center court is still something to be reckoned with for your nervous system.
Yes, we have the proverbial game to 11. It is 10 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I look for Gary to go after this bag.
Well, you think he'll go? Yeah, he'll go up and over.
There he goes.
There it is.
Oh, and he hit it in wind. No wind. That was a great shot.
In between gusts.
Oh.
And the wind killed that one. The
Yeah,
wind
it
is
did.
blowing that way.
And let's say Gary just lays up and just takes the 3. Now, the wind has really picked up right here for this shot.
He's thinking about it.
He's definitely thinking about it.
He's definitely got an opportunity here. It's just, is it going to be
going.
guts or glory? He is up and over.
Oh!
And I think the wind died right as it got up there.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
He compensated for it.
Man,
So
what a great airmail, though. The first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Into
that
the
was
wind.
fantastic into the wind to take that other bag. 13 to 10. Again, best 2 out of 3, single elimination. And the bracket is available for you on our Facebook page. As you're watching all of the broadcasted matches that we've curated and put together for you. So again, it's the top 8 players. $3,000 for first place, $7,500 guaranteed purse here at the Destination Outlet in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Looking sharp in these custom jerseys put together, and I tell you, Jack and Paula Stevens have outdone themselves this season with the different jersey styles and whatnot, and they look really, really sharp.
Absolutely. You can't mention that enough.
Mm-mm.
When I saw these, when I walked up, I was sitting there thinking, how did I not make it to the top 8?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at them, and I'm a little irritated, to tell the truth. You can't buy them.
You're right.
No, you cannot. And these are a little different than every other jersey in the ACO or any other group. That one, Wynn caught that one and took it off to the right. Because on the backs, normally you would see their name and maybe a state. You're seeing their seed number, and you don't see that very often.
Right.
So that's really cool and a very special a special honor to be wearing on your back, sir. That's going to be a 5 spot,
yeah.
so now we're going to roll back to first bag, which is definitely an advantage, especially on a day like this.
Nice.
So 15 on 13. Kaleb takes the lead back.
Gary went for that airmail the other direction, and it kicked dead to his right, the way the wind is blowing.
About 6 inches.
Yes, it did. Oh, and he's set up now. Nice bag.
Gary steps a little more to the center part of his pitch pad and is able to reconcile. That one should be a done deal. He's just going to lay low and hopefully not drop that one in, and he plays it to at least to the best he can. But, boy, I'll tell you what, 10-10 became 19-13.
Quick.
13 very quickly. So those early nerves you guys were noticing there seem to have subsided for Kaleb.
Even that layup shot, Gary, there, it was in danger of falling in front of the board. I thought the wind was going to catch it.
Wind caught it, and I don't think he expected it to land that far to the front of the board.
I like the way Kaleb is pushing right through Gary's blocks. I think Gary's actually trying to block Kaleb.
Yeah. To be doing it going this direction with the wind,
absolutely.
That's where you said that low flat bag makes a huge difference because he does get that power in the assist, and that's nicely done there to sneak through.
And now Gary's got to make this shot. He's got to drag that bag. This game is over. Oh, and he hit it.
Almost did it.
And game one is history. Your winner, Kaleb Hurt.
All right, 21-13 is game one. Again, each of these are best of three. Single elimination. He'll reset scoreholio, and we'll get underway at game two. Now it's a double dip situation now for Gary. He's going to have to take two here.
Now that really puts some pressure on Gary. He's got to throw his best in game two. And takes all the pressure off of Kaleb.
So they're trying to decide whether or not they're going to switch sides or not for a second game.
Well, they're checking with Frank Ears, the cornhole dude, the founder, president, and lead official for the ACO today. So they're going to go ahead and remain in their lanes per their jerseys. First bag goes to
Fergie.
The King, Fergie, and these guys start out very similarly to the way they started game one.
I don't know if you noticed, guys, it looks like Kaleb is really getting in a groove right now.
Yeah, both directions. I mean, I think he definitely took the
there's the roll.
I think that we are going to see the roll bag played a little bit more today because of the sticky situations than we normally see.
Now, out of these 8 players, who is the best roller of the bunch? Because I think there's some of them that don't have that shot.
That's true.
Have not worked that shot. Is Harkrow good at that shot? Is Gary Bearpaw good? Bearpaw doesn't strike me as a guy who's going to work up a big roll bag.
I think Bracey making roll a little bit. I know DJ Long has an excellent roll shot, along with a nice airmail. And Kaleb, those 3 guys have the advantage with the roll.
And that roll shot is, you like to call it the block and roll. When somebody lays that blocker bag down, you get up and over it. For those who may be watching that don't know, there are basically 4 basic shots in cornhole, and this 5th shot, up and over, and the wind took that one over the top.
Yep,
but
you noticed that was look at the big gust of wind on both of those shots.
Did a favor. The Mother Nature did Gary a favor right there. But, you've got that block bag that lays in front of the hole. You got the slide that slides right up the center. You got the ever-popular airmail, and then that push shot that pushes that blocker down. This roll bag, again, has come out of the juniors in the Young Guns division. You're starting to see more of the older players develop that shot. Do you have that shot, Rich, when you're out on the campground? Do you have a roll shot?
I have every shot available known to man at the campground. I just can't pull it out at any tournaments.
Allow me to rephrase. Do you ever do any of those on purpose?
That's a completely different answer.
You know what I like to say, Rich? I can throw the roll shot. Too bad it's right beside the board.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why the series that was developed for me are called Carpet Burns.
Oh.
That's my series of bags, the Carpet Burns.
Man, I tell you what, I like the way these guys are gambling in this wind.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, they're not laying back. Gary really has been aggressive.
I talked to Bracey earlier about the styles and the different techniques of throws that these players are going to be throwing today.
Yeah, and Gary goes, "What the heck just happened?
What did you just do?" He's going to.
They're counting him up.
Yeah.
But Bracey did say that he was probably going to be pulling away from the airmail as less than what he normally uses, and probably going to the roll a little bit more often.
Yeah.
Let's see if that holds true.
It ain't affected these 2 guys because they're firing away.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice shot by Kaleb to steal it. I'm calling it stealing a point from Gary right there. And when he made that, Gary just turned around and looked at him like, how did you do that?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. They're playing like they've got nothing to lose when they have everything to lose.
Yeah.
So that's a gutsy call.
Nobody wants to visit Rich over in his tent after this game.
No,
I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I'm kind of used to that. Nobody really wants to visit me anytime, really.
Another nice shot by Kaleb. Man. And this thing, Gary showed throwing some ultra widow. Oh,
he went for the air mill to try to pull that. That was gutsy.
Left them both out of play now. Gary, this should be a no-brainer that he can get in there. What's he thinking about?
I think he's probably thinking he's going to try to pull that other one with it.
But I don't think there's
he's
enough.
Going.
There.
He's going.
Oh man.
That,
I'll tell you what, I don't really like that shot by Gary right there. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
He's already one game down. And you don't want to give up too many points to Kaleb Hurt to where you could actually take a point.
I didn't like the shot because it missed.
Yeah.
Well, and if you made a list of things he wanted to do, that would have been the last thing on the list.
That's right.
We'd all loved it, though, if he would have pulled that.
Absolutely. Hey, I'd have been going crazy over
I love
here,
that shot.
That was a great shot.
That was a great shot, Gary. Well, I tell you what, now I know why he was thinking about it.
You know, it's the guy that jacks up the three-pointer. No, great shot.
Yeah. Well, Phil is not just the Mississippi Ninja. He's developed another nickname. As of the last couple of tournaments, I call him the Waffle House.
Yeah. Oh,
he'll
no.
make a call,
Heck no.
and then the next thing you know, it's like, I told you that was going to happen. I said, you said the exact opposite that was going to happen.
I never would do that, man. Are you crazy?
Oh, low and hard.
This is going to be a 6-point round
a big buster right there. Yeah, he went in hard, and it took everything he had, and it just stuck. It just stuck. So it'll be interesting to hear what the non-winners have to say afterward about how they were able to either gather a groove or just bust it.
Well, no doubt, this weather gives the non-winners a lot more excuses after the game, doesn't it?
No question. Yeah.
And I'm expecting to hear every one of them. I can't wait.
I'm
going to keep a score tally over there.
That'd be great.
Get a pad. Yeah, the boards are sticky in the wind. Kaleb, those bags with Kaleb are, right down the pipe.
Yeah. No, he's looking to add to that snowman, and Gary's looking to crack that egg. And he doesn't. He gives up those two, so double digits to somebody looking for a crooked number.
That's what I was talking about. Gary, I guarantee he'd like to have that point back. He went for that airmail a minute ago. Shaking his head. You could tell he's disgusted. You don't see that out of him very often.
Well, and we talked about this on the taco with him being in the very first match. We didn't pick Kaleb because he was the number one seed, because on any given day, Gary could, clearly he showed last year, can take down anybody. However, first match of the day, Gary usually takes a little while to, as you said, get his spinach working.
He does.
And sometimes until he gets a few dance moves under his belt, it's tough for him to get into that groove. So playing right out of the chute today could be a distinct disadvantage.
I'll tell you what, this very much is a wind-affected round right there.
No question.
And I think that we're only going to see more of that as the day goes on.
Mm-hmm.
2 more for Kaleb.
All right, guys, I'm going to go get myself prepared. Thank you for sharing your booth with me.
Might not be a bad idea, because we might be wrapping up the first single elimination.
We enjoyed
here.
having you, by the way.
All right, Rich, thanks, brother.
Even me.
What's that?
Even me enjoyed having Rich Powell here. Oh, I tell you what, Gary has a mountain to climb now. Down 12-0, already down 1 game to the number 1 seed. Oh, and now he opens the door for Gary. Gary left it short, and he just sticks his hands out in disgust. Now here comes the airmail right here, Finn. I promise you.
Yeah, it's going to have to be up and over.
Oh. And he has not hit one going that way at all. I'd really like to have an interview with Gary right now, to be honest with you, to see what he's thinking. He's throwing his hands up in disgust. You do not see Gary Ferguson do that very often at all.
No, he's usually throwing his hands in the air like he just don't care.
Absolutely. Now it's in disgust.
We're going to see if we can pick up and stream here maybe the last few moments of what could be the beginning and the end of the current King of Cornhole. In this particular match, the number 8 seed in the red lane, Gary Ferguson, Tennessee's finest. Some people think it's Jack Daniels. I would say it's Fergie.
Good shot.
Nice shot there from Kaleb. The number 1 seed, you walk right into that buzzsaw right out of the chute, and that you definitely have your work cut out for you, whether not permitting or not. So now that 12-0, that dozen to nothing turns into he just added a couple more there. 14 on 0.
14-0. Now I did see Kaleb may be winning this match, but not 14-0.
Yeah, Gary is
in 2.
Like you said, he's kind of throwing his hands around. We're catching just a little bit of a sprinkle of rain from what I can tell. We are fortunate here to be undercover, but that might have a little bit of a
little more effect on them.
An impact on him psychological. That's a nice airmail right there. How about that?
I think that's the first airmail that Gary has hit going in that direction. As he's thinking about it again here, I think this is going to be another one. He's going to try to get them back in bunches here.
Well, and I'll tell you the other thing too. That's going to be
a little short.
Just a little bit of a bounce bag off those two that Kaleb has sitting. He's going to go low and try to push. And now he's left 3 of them out of the hole there. I thought he was going to get that push there, and Gary does him a huge favor right there, pushing 2 of his in and leaving his is a tough get, and that opens up that center lane for Kaleb.
Kaleb's going to grab some more points right here.
Gary's just going to try to take what he can get.
He grabs 5, and that makes it 19-0.
I'll tell you what, but ever the sportsman, I'll tell you something. Fergie is absolutely the consummate sportsman.
Yeah, Gary, I guarantee you, Gary's going to shake his hand, give him a hug, and walk away with a big smile and enjoy the experience that he's had here. But I'm not counting 19-0 out.
Nope.
He's got a bag off right here.
We have seen stranger things.
Oh, and there it is.
Nicely done.
He says, I'm not going without a fight.
Even on a day when things are playing a little bit sticky, he's able to pull that bag in and get that drag.
4 bags with Kaleb. He's got to go in here, and that's going to do it.
That is going to do it. All right. And match number 1 is under our belts. I was going to say underway, but it is now under our belt. And the number 1 seed, Kaleb Hurd out of the SVC, takes down our current King of Cornhole, Gary Ferguson. 1 and done. That's going to do it for Fergie. So as these guys continue to work their way through the bracket, how about that? Kaleb Hurd, number 1 seed, will be facing off against DJ Long or Matt Gammon, who are going to be playing in round 1, match number 4. But round 1, match number 2 coming up. Gary Bearpaw, the number 2 seed, against Craig Irvin, the number 7 seed. We will have more of that action coming to you here from the Destination Outlets in Jeffersonville, Ohio, on the ACO Digital Network. On behalf of Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja, we're going to spend a little bit of time here with Kaleb Hurd in just a moment, and we'll be back with more action on the ACO. All right, well, I'll tell you what, this is the moment we've been waiting for months since we announced this tournament, and that was to sit down with the first winner of the first match. It's the number 1 seed, Kaleb Hurd, and the reason we've been looking forward to this is very specifically, what's it like? I mean, I know you're comfortable playing outside, but there were moments in game 1 it looked like you were still trying to figure out which way literally the wind was blowing, but you dialed it in pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first game, the part when it started misting that rain, I think our bags got like really sticky there for a second because they were hitting that water and they were still kind of dry. So, man, it was like glue there for a second. But as we went on, like the second game, the board sped up again and it worked in my favor.
And how big a difference was it going one way to the other? Because we saw a couple of bags that Gary threw up that kind of hung. Yeah. There was one I think Phil mentioned. Yeah. He laid it up, but it almost didn't make it to the board because of the wind.
Yeah, I had one. I went for that push shot that time on going this way, and the wind, man, coming this way is a lot worse than going down that way.
A lot different. Well, I'll tell you what, number 1 seed, you will hold on to that blue jersey all day. Nobody's going to be a higher seed than you throughout the day. Playing out of the blue lane, congratulations, taking down the current reigning king of Cornhole. Is this maybe a little precursor to what we're going to see in Branson?
I hope so.
Convincing fashion, too. You're playing a great player right there.
Yeah.
You got the best of him pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, good stuff and good luck against the winner. It's going to be the winner of DJ and Matt coming up, working our way to the finals. And this, if we put your name on this big check,
I hope so.
We'll see if maybe you're taking that home with you right there. All right, so Frank's already signed it, so we may put our names on it, run and catch, and have a nice lunch.
The last match, we were in our car and gone.
Congratulations, Kaleb.
Thank you.
All right, he'll be moving on into the next round as the number 1 seed for the tournament. And we saw a little bit of missed start, and I didn't even think about that having an effect on the boards and whatnot. Philip, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the next match, which is going to be Craig Irvin, the number 7 seed, against Gary Bearpaw out of Oklahoma, the number 2 seed. We'll be back with that action here in just a moment on the ACO Digital Network.